incredible.
So it's the little things in life.
It is, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when a dog discovers something new for the first time, or any animal actually.
Or maybe just a baby human.
Yeah,
With, like, you know,
that probably
toddler,
would've been- I
or
mean,
like a 5 or 7-year-old.
yeah.
Maybe so you're just seeing the world through fresh eyes.
Yeah.
So we will get this knife round done momentarily. If knife rounds were more of a regular thing, maybe we'd have a knife map. Like it'd be like a circle of death, or like a death pit, or like a bridge. Something which would just like make people go for the fights, as opposed to like maps where obviously you can run around, you can juke, you can be a little bit silly.
I always feel like, you know, if it's like if you're playing in, you know, like some like on like some matchmaking service that makes you have knife rounds, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like if you want to be a knob and drag him out, be my guest. But if you're playing like high-end CS, you know, like when you'll see like one player just running away for like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, dude. Like
Really dragging it out.
just give in. You know, you're not going to 1v3 in the knife round on 10 HP. Like it just doesn't happen. I know, it always triggers me. That's one of my pet peeves, along with player names being backwards. They're the two things that I hate.
Most of them have started to fix it up, right?
Most, yeah. Well,
and if you're like Ethan, for example, and you have it the other way around, I'm just going to call you Ethan. It's same as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Cutler. I'm not calling you Reltug.
So lately, me and Hugo were doing the WSG female, and a few of them had it. And
Jennifer's name's backwards.
I think Hope is backwards. She plays for Carnage.
Epo.
Yeah, Epo.
Oh,
That was the one that really threw me off. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. Because Epo sounds like it could be a
Why
nickname.
wouldn't you want Hope?
Plus, yeah, Hope's a cool name,
Hope's
right?
a sick
yeah.
name.
It's a mystery to me.
Oh, well.
You know, I get, you know, like why you might switch it out if you know called Ethan, but
Or if you're called like Sponge.
well,
What kind of a potato name is that? Anyway, we're getting underway here. Zeus has opted to buy armor there quite late. I'm not sure if maybe there's a bit of indecision, but it will be 5 sets of Kevlar on the side of Na'Vi, and ViCi will have a... Oh, I was going to say a Molotov in the hands of Advent, but Flamey's able to take down Orman very quickly, trying to get that box hole control so they can rotate 4 players back over towards the outside yard where the attack will come on in. Edward finding another kill, and this round is not going too well for ViCi Gaming. It looks that Na'Vi are getting a chance to stabilize here. 2-on-4 situation.
but it's still Freeman and Kaze left standing. These are the two players that we so often talk about within this squad. That bomb is going to be the real problem, though. It's dropped firmly in control of Na'Vi. Edward going to be onto his third in this pistol round. I tell you what, he might not have had the best of starts to the pistol. You know, it took him a few bullets to find that first kill, but since then, all the headshots have rolled in, and that will be Na'Vi taking the pistol round, moving 1-0 up here on their map pick of Train. I would say start as you mean to go on, and let's see if Na'Vi can stay true to that.
Not afraid of getting those Augs up early. Edward and Zeus have both upgraded onto the weapon of the moment. Electronic with the MP9. Simple's just going to stick with the USP here, meaning he wants to get the AWP up in the next round, and they'll get the opportunity just to destroy the likes of ViCi, who only have the Glocks in hand. So this one here isn't too much to write home about. This is one of those rounds that we expect to go one way, a plant, a kill, anything for the T side. More than a bonus. A simple takedown Orman on the other side of the map. Zeus will eventually finish off that kill in the box halls. And from here, the rest of the pieces of the puzzle should fall. Electronic with 2 kills there. He had a very, very poor first map, so I'm expecting big things out of Electronic here in map number 2 for Na'Vi. Needs to make sure he wakes up and gets involved, because we talk about him being the Robin to the Batman. That is Simple. I don't think I would want anybody to ever call me Robin.
He was like...
He's a better sidekick than Robin.
Yeah. Robin...
He's like a little...
I didn't really like anything about Robin.
No.
He was so unlikable as a character.
And why was that?
I actually don't know, because like from what I could tell, he just seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah,
but,
he didn't
there
really
was just
do
something
anything
about him. Yeah, it's like kind of useless.
He was underwhelming. Maybe that's it. But opening utility has been spread on outside with the 2 players pushing through this Ivy smoke. Flame's actually going to take damage and not expect it to be coming, but he gets a chance to stabilize, and the trades are all over the shop. Madness.
Yeah, Edward, it's just been incredible form at the start of this map, apparently. Orman hiding close, and that smoke does manage to get by, but Simple is poised and ready to shut him down. Na'Vi taking a convincing lead here. There's no money left for ViCi. So likely we see maybe a partial investment, save a bit more on Kaze, so we can look to get the AWP in the next round, and you do finally have something to go toe-to-toe with Simple.
So Peter from HRTV.org just tweeted this out regarding ViCi's list of wins over higher ranked teams on Inferno this year. They had a 16-8 victory over North, a 22-20 victory over North, 16-6 over Cloud9, 16-13 over NIP, And now a 16-3 over Na'Vi. So their resume for Inferno is starting to look quite tasty.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better than that, and I think it sets them up well to, you know, at least now they have like a staple map, right, to try and run off of. That's always one of the hardest things is, well, actually, I say that. I guess, I don't know, what would you say is more beneficial, Chad? Being a jack of all trades where you're just pretty good at most of the maps, or where you have, you know, 1 or 2 maps you're insane on, and then the others you're, eh.
I think you need to have home maps. You need to have an identity that you're happy to play against almost anybody. That's important. So making sure you have some strengths is definitely up there if it could be on 2. This is just a force fire that's going to be milked on out. But yeah, the thing is you need to have at least 2 maps that you're comfortable to play against anybody. And the reason I say that is because in best of 3s, if you only had 1 map you're good on, I can just ban it. Yeah. Right? The thing is, if I have a weakness, like for example Na'Vi who can't play Cache, then that gives me a chance as ViCi to make sure I get Inferno every time. But there's other scenarios where a team, you know, they might not have the similar weaknesses and they can just remove your best map. So you want to make sure you have at least 2 very good home maps or 2 maps where you feel comfortable on. And then from that point, you need to have another 3 maps that you're competent in playing. Now, the reason I say that is because, sure, you can veto 1 map and you can lose a map in a best of 3, but you can still win a series. So that's the very infancy building blocks, but ideally you want to be good on 6. It's a lot to ask for, but to be competent on 6 maps, it's the key.
And so with Vertigo's addition,
yes.
Do you think, because what I imagine is going to happen is we're going to see a lot of the top teams maybe just neglect it at first, and I imagine it might be like, you know, with the exception of like maybe an Astralis, but even then I feel like they could afford to have that as their ban.
They can, indeed.
Especially now with Cache gone, you know, couldn't really ask for a better scenario if you're going to bring in an odd map like that. But, you know, do you imagine it's going to be the lower tier teams to try and adopt Vertigo first to give them an edge over the teams at the top?
I think that in best of 3 series, obviously, you need to look at teams who have big weaknesses that weren't Cache, right? You need to look at teams who had other perma bans, like a team that had a perma ban as Nuke. Well, now they have a choice: do they start playing Nuke or do they? Yeah. So I think it's going to be more out of a need of necessity as opposed to how do we position ourselves to go up against other top teams, because certain teams' vetoes are going to be, you know, hampered by this and certain teams are going to be bolstered by this. The perfect example is, like you said, with Astralis. They don't necessarily have to do anything. They don't even have to touch the map. I hope they will. I think everybody should gravitate towards it early because now it becomes a map that you can always float in vetoes. And if you can always float a map like that and you're happy to play it if someone wants to pick it against you, Simple almost gets burnt down, then you're looking pretty good. I want to see this trick you were talking about, Harry.
Yeah, I really hope they bring it in, but I don't think we're going to get to see it in this round. They are aware that Simple is on this AWP, and that's sort of, you know, the dream scenario for you to use it. And he is over towards this B-bomb site, but ViCi, they're more concerned as to what A has in store for them, setting up for the smokes, and Flashbang's ready to try and facilitate this set piece in towards A. They have Orman ready to come in late on this push in through Ivy. Edward going to be holding inside of main. Does start to give it up, backs away. The Cubby takes this peek out and is able to dispatch of Zoking. He's looking to try and get more done, but Freeman not going to let him deal any more damage, and now it falls to Electronic in the Sam, which cannot afford to make a meal of this one. And he has managed to drop 2 players and the bomb with it. Electronic already might have done enough. These rotations have come in. Orman gets burnt down within, I was going to say inches of his life, but actually he's able to get out the Molotov just in the nick of time. Electronic continuing to wrap Brown, drops Kaze, trying to exit from main, and it's Orman in this 1v3. Now he has at least found Simple, but you imagine his luck runs dry here. And indeed it will. So Na'Vi, very different story to Inferno, a 5-0 start from them. But now at least we do see the lost bonus starting to max out for ViCi. I believe that's still a thing, right? Where
so
you rotate. Is that? Have we decided if that was intentional yet or not?
Valve haven't addressed it, so it would allude to me that it is intentional because of the way it was worded as well. So 4+, meaning, you know, that it's going to continue to count upwards. So right now, ViCi are building a bank of $3,400 loss bonuses. I'll explain it more if we see it unfold. If not, we'll just leave it. We can get stuck into it at different points. But it is important for ViCi to keep these rounds as close as possible as they go for a bit of a gambit towards the inside bomb site. Zeus from above able to take down 2 and make sure that Simple doesn't get swarmed. See, these are a couple of the things that I was talking about when I was mentioning that they do things to bolster Zeus. So he's the inside anchor. And on the earlier gun rounds, they've had 2 players there to make sure that they can't exploit him. Right? So teams normally like to hit inner bomb sites anyway. On the first couple of rounds, pistol round, the first gun round. They usually like to go for those plays. So to bolster with Zeus and make them a little bit more scared, they make them think it's not an easy avenue. They have to go outside into the likes of Flamey, Electronic, and Edward. Then they can start leaning Simple out there, and Simple can play on that side of the map instead of having to be inside as that backup. So right now we're getting into round number 6. More than enough money on the board here for ViCi to get a competent buy. Still not opting for the AWP as Kaze has picked up the SG Krieg. He had that on the earlier gun round as well. Obviously didn't have enough money then to buy the AWP, but he's gone for it this time round when he probably could have made some compromises to get out the big green, so they might have a set piece in mind. They're doing the same opening smokes. You can see they're landing at the 5 train. That's to bait out utility of the CTs, make sure they have to clear out the Olof position and not just have free information that everything's clear. Oh,
Edward just pushed main, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool,
He's feeling very aggressive right now, isn't he? And I think, justifiably so. He's been unstoppable. Currently sitting, I believe, top of the board for Na'Vi, 10-2. Just like on the old steering wheel. That is where they say you should have it, right? 10-2? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah, you just drive however.
But it's because you pass the steering wheel through your hands.
If you're cool, you just drive midday, mate. Just one hand, middle of...
Yeah? You've been watching Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's a great flick. If you haven't seen it, probably go watch it. But it does appear that inside is the only real option right now for ViCi. 45 seconds left on the clock. They're setting up for an execute. You can see them congregated on the radar on the top left. Look how much information Na'Vi have.
Yeah, that's any problem, right? Edward continuing to probe main. Even had Electronic with him. So now as this B play comes in, actually they turn away from B. They might look like they're going to try and hit the Pop Dog out towards this A bomb site. And actually, Electronic's going to get blindsided. It's Edward who's the unknown factor, but Kaze does turn around and check it. Zoking's in with another. And this was looking like a Na'Vi round all day long. Now things might not pan out that way. Zeus and Simple have done what they can. A 2-on-2 secured. They still have Freeman and Kaze left to try and overcome. And with just 47 points of health between them, it's certainly not the ideal scenario. They're going to try and throw Simple up onto this boost. The spot on the bomb is planted for main and Pop Dog. Then takes the peek and is able to find Zeus. Simple not quite able to land the flick and trade that out, so he will just have to back away and give this up. ViCi going to be finding their first round. And on the back of a round that really looked like they had no business winning. Yeah,
considering how much main control was taken there from Na'Vi, that they're in such a forward postured position, and all the members from ViCi came out of Pop Dog, one of the tightest choke points on the entire map. Not really how you expect that situation to go down.
I mean, as odd as it is, it almost felt like the double main push was the reason that round fell apart. It should have been the big advantage. But with all 4 ViCi players pouring out a Pop Dog, there was no one who could have really abused that. They threw a smoke into main, knowing that Edward had got aggressive there earlier on in the round. And what that meant was he couldn't push the trade with Electronic. Electronic gets just fully blinded by that first flash. And so, while Pop Dog normally isn't the most ideal position to push from, it actually ends up doing some favors for ViCi there.
Indeed. We're going to see a pop flash here from Advent to allow Freeman a little bit easier passage. Should be coming in momentarily. Flashes Zeus off the line. That's perfect team play there. You don't often get too many opportunities to highlight that, but good observing allows us to do exactly what we need. Those opening smokes again, you can see. So that E-box smoke and that 5-lane smoke. What that means, guys, is people can push out to the back of the 5-lane train. Ooh, chunk down. It's a nice little grenade. Surprised we don't see it used more. Back in the day when I was still playing, going up against... hold up, we'll hold off on this story for another day, as this is going to be an outside set piece through main as Electronic they call his pants down again, and the trades keep on coming here. So King with 2. Simple from the heavens with 2. That 3 is Simple's reposition. Can he get more? There's a player over towards the cutout, one towards E-box. He inches away here from death is Simple. The smoke's going to fade. Is he aware enough to pivot on this position? As Zeus and Simple, once again, last 2 alive. Kaze's going to find the first. Pivots over the top. Kaze with the second, and that's another round on the board for ViCi. Stole that one away, didn't he?
He most certainly did. Now, I feel like it's important to know Advent still trailing behind 0 and 8. I feel like we need to see a bit of an improvement from him. You know, he's not normally the heavy hitter within the squad by any means, but no kills is still not ideal. He has to start paying his dues at some point. Regardless, second round locked in for ViCi there. Kaze doing a fantastic job at clutching out that 1v2, and that's also the free upgrade onto the AWP for him, so he's going to take that all day long. Na'Vi, meanwhile, in a bit of an awkward spot. You can see that Edward had elected to buy there. It's a bit dubious on some of the other players, though. Electronic, he's going to be relegated down. Actually, no, he can be dropped over, I guess. They can divvy out the money so that they have a buy here, but it's not going to be ideal by any stretch of the imagination. Simple was able to invest in the AWP, I believe.
Oh, so that story that I was talking about, Harry, my mind just went somewhere else. That story was... I was playing against like Henny and Lucas's team. I forgot what they were called back then. Maybe it was Game Academy, when before they became what they ended up becoming. But it's obviously that second Brazilian team,
Pretty
right?
down this story.
Yeah, right? Sorry guys, my memory's not
not
fantastic
just got off
right
of
now.
like a 15-hour travel.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
But all in all, they had like a really cool set piece where they had inside utility thrown from the low ramp player to keep us at bay, and then they'd throw Molotovs through the skylights where we saw that grenade come in before, and it would actually push you all the way back. You couldn't encroach at all towards box holes, and you couldn't even stay above pop dogs, so they could take a lot of aggressive room. Anyway, the point of this was, I'm surprised we haven't seen more teams do that, is once again, ViCi just seemed to stroll around, find the headshots, get some very opening trades onto this outer bomb side as they sit 5-3, make that 5-2.
Zeus even going to get spotted over here in the connector, and the wraparound from Freeman feels like it's the fail-safe, and indeed it is. He's able to lock in at that round. ViCi up 3-6 now. So slowly but surely they are grinding their way back into this. No money left for Na'Vi. And we saw them take that force buy into the round prior, and this is the result. This is the gamble you take. And we're going to be picking up the Zeus. Imagine he takes that into Pop Dog. It's a pretty good place for it.
You see many more shotguns since the update?
Weirdly enough, no.
Yeah, I think that...
I thought they were going to be way more popular.
I think especially, I forget the exact name of the shotgun, but the one that's been put down to 1,050. You basically... Yeah, that's the one. You basically make your money back with one kill.
Yeah.
And you think about also, you take somebody who has probably an AK and head armor, you get pretty good value for money. Even the
Mag 7, I think that's probably the best shotgun you can physically have, and even that's what 1.3 now, so maybe even less than that.
Yeah, I think that's always been such a phenomenon of a shotgun, hasn't it? It's been definitely the most popular.
Yeah, I mean, even here on Trade, you think about the amount of times you see that bought out and taken either down towards ramp or more prominently, I'd say, over towards Pop Dog, because it's such a force to be reckoned with. Now, the sawn off, that is just trash and will always be trash.
Not a fan of the sawn off?
Well, it's a great meme weapon. It's up there with the dual Berettas, but it's just there's just better options and for less money. So I don't know why you would, the Nova's 1,050 now. I don't know why you'd ever get the sawn off, which is less range. I think it's got more damage, but you only need 100 to kill someone. It doesn't really help you if you're doing anything else above that. I think they buffed the range of it a bit, but it's still terrible.
So you want to let Valve know you want it to be better, or you're happy with it?
No, I'm glad. Some guns have to be bad.
That's
I
true.
think that's something that people sometimes overlook.
That is
Not
true.
every gun can be viable.
Because then why would we need different guns?
Yeah,
We'd all just have the same gun.
If my 5.7's just as good as my AK, why do I ever need the AK?
Exactly. All right, so getting this one underway. Again, the opening smokes, you can see them, but this time round, it does appear they want to go for an inside hit. You can see a faster approach as they've mollied off high ramp. There's a bit of spam through the smoke from players in the white walls there, so that could be hoping to elude that. Maybe they haven't taken it as quickly as what Zeus may be spreading the information to his team. He does have a rotator of Flamey, I believe, over towards the connector train. So he's actually going to push here. He's going to get aggressive, Harry. He's gone right on in for a fight. He's going to get the first, and that's going to be the bomb drop. Flamey will find one in transition. So this is a bit of a troublesome position for ViCi to find themselves in. So they need to get the bomb. They also need to hold on to the bomb site. And Zeus is doing a fantastic job of hampering all of that. He'll take down Freeman, the only player who had any real estate to his name. And they're a little bit worried that players are pushing to the backlines, though.
Yeah, and as they're taking time to clear this, Kaze slowly but surely peeking down from the ramp. Hasn't spotted anyone yet, but there's definitely potential here. Electronic over and connecting. Now it's Edward first to offer himself up.
They've got the bomb now as well.
Yeah, they've actually done quite well here, have ViCi, of recovering what was looking like a real train wreck of a round. You know, try a Zeus Might to keep them out of this B bomb. So, okay, he's done that, but this bomb has been retrieved. And now a 2-on-3. This definitely isn't impossible for ViCi.
They're actually splitting up, so one player's made their way out into Olaf. Simple's having to patrol the yard from this Ivy position, and his timing actually has allowed Kaze to make it across to E-Box. So, I was going to say it could get dangerous, but Simple's going to get the kill, and 7 seconds left on the clock. It will be the save call to come on in. 7-4 now in favor of Na'Vi, who are still looking a little bit on edge. They need to stabilize here.
Yeah, right, because you think about the fact that they get off to such a good start. You know, we saw them go 6-0 up, and we were thinking, okay, right, this is it, Na'Vi, they're back in you know, how we kind of expect them to come into this best of 3. But, you know, these scorelines can very quickly turn against you, and that's kind of the situation they find themselves in now. ViCi with 4 rounds, I mean, you could almost make the argument that maybe is enough to try and secure you a chance in the second half.
Doesn't look too many happy chappies, too many smiles going on in the Na'Vi room right now.
I don't really think many CS players smile, though.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean,
You're getting paid to play a video game.
Were you very smiley when you were playing, Chad?
I was always yelling a lot, but like good yells, like fire up yells.
Yeah, not like, you know, bring the team
I got really
down.
emo towards the end.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The yelling stop, or was it just more anger?
The yelling
than
stopped.
Oh.
It all the wheels fell off.
Well, at least now you get to talk about them instead of play them, Chad.
Yeah,
I never see you not smiling.
Try and smile a little bit more. This time, no opening smokes from ViCi. They've held on to their utility. They haven't gone for the... Oh, okay. Well, kaboom. Zoking's dead.
Yeah, very dead, actually.
Overkill of utility used to watch Pop Dog there from Na'Vi. They Molotoved and smoked on into the room, so that might come back to bite them. I don't think it's going to have too many issues considering they're one man up this early just with the use of tactical HE grenades. And at this point, they're able to get the 2-3 man spread. So 2 towards in and 3 towards yard, watching each of the choke points. Simple on board right now with the AWP.
And we haven't really seen ViCi test the waters towards this Ivy position. They haven't really uncovered the beast that lies here in the form of Simple. So it looks like Orman's looking to try and go toe-to-toe with him. Now it's Electronic hidden over here in Sandwich along with Edward, responsible for keeping an eye on this main position. They are going to have their work cut out for them. The Molotov looking like it's going to get deployed into Sandwich. Might force Electronic out, and he will manage one from atop the trays. Now Edward makes his position, though. That's that crossfire coming into fruition for Na'Vi. They even managed to find Orman, who was able to dispatch of Simple down in Ivy. But that's it. And Kaze now, 1v4 required. Might just have to hold on to the AWP yet again. Yeah, that looks to be the call. He's already fallen back into T-spawn.
Good for your stats, this.
Yeah.
Yeah, your deaths don't seem to accumulate. I always hated those guys that always saved and they had better stats. It's like, you didn't actually do anything. You just saved guns.
Anyone who points to like, you know, oh, but I was fragging so well and I've hardly died. I'm like, mate, you've just baited me every round, and I
you
hate
had 6 exit kills.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, bro?
So I would rather someone who gets 2 important kills than 100 kills while saving.
I think you'd like me on your team then, Harry. I get about 2 kills every time I play these days.
They
feel important to me. They feel important to me. I guess that's all that matters. All right, 8-4, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, joining us from all around the world. I think it's probably about, what, midday in Europe right now. If you're from North America, it's probably very early in the morning. I'm guessing. I know there's normally 7 or 8 hours between GMT plus 8 and where I am, which is usually Europe.
Honestly, I don't even know what day it is, Chad, so I couldn't even try and tell you the time elsewhere in the world. But the time in the server ticking down for both these teams in the first half. There is going to be a presence over in Pop Dog this time around from Na'Vi. We haven't really seen Edward take this mantle of the map too much. And he'll throw that smoke over into main. That allows Electronic to go aggressive. That's something that Na'Vi really haven't been afraid to do, is try push these two portions of the map, try and test the waters. Over here in main and pop, Edward now Molotov'd out, has to back away and give it up. And this is going to force Na'Vi to have to try and reposition inside of this bomb site a bit more, but flash raining over from Electronic facilitates that frag from Edward. Miss shot on a simple, and that's not a man you want to miss a shot onto. Now he's got his attention fixated on Pop Dog. Advent flashes himself out, but one by one, ViCi start to fall. Freeman have dispatched of the lone B bomb site player, but they have to get this bomb first, and that's the real problem. Na'Vi know that they can just apply the pressure here and deny them that bomb in main, and now Freeman, while he did open the B bomb site, he's now going to try and pull off a 1v2. He has found Simple, only Electronic left standing. This is the dynamic duo of Na'Vi that he might be able to overthrow if he wins this out, but no. Electronic trades, picks up the AWP, holds that forward into the next round, and that will be Na'Vi up 9-4.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a lapse there because there were so many positions that he could have been coming from. Obviously, Connector was where he made it through, but we were on Electronic's POV, and he was looking over towards Ivy in the back lanes. There was also the opportunity for him not to have continued pushing that inner bomb side and come back down through Pop Dog. So to only have one player survive could be dangerous signs for Na'Vi as we are heading to the pointy end of the first half. If they lose this one, their bank's going to be in a little bit of strife, and ViCi might be able to pile on and get to that 9-6 scoreline. But right now, Na'Vi definitely looking much more composed and much more dangerous pound for pound player-wise than what they did in the previous, where they were a shadow of themselves. Lots of rounds here, though, ViCi haven't been able to find opening kills, and that has been a bit of a problem. They've been either tactically nuked down, or every time that they've pushed into a position, they've just been exchanged on without the chance of a trade. So you can tell that Na'Vi's aim and decision-making is more on point here on their comfort pick of Train. We'll be setting up for this execute. As you can see all the players getting into position, and look at that grenade. Na'Vi's utility usage has been on point, that's for sure. Here comes the inside set piece. Smokes, Molotovs, flashes, and the kitchen sink being thrown at Zeus, who will get burnt down to an inch of his health and pushed out high ramp, actually. If trade's gone down, frags are happening on this inner bomb side. It will be the attack.
Yeah, the bomb plant going to come through and everything, but already Na'Vi here knocking on the door of ViCi, ready to retake this bomb site. It's the wraparound from Orman that ViCi have put a lot of faith in. Only Advent remains inside of the bomb site. He's got to try and buy time if this wrap wants to do anything, and he has bought plenty of it. Orman doesn't find anything from his wraparound. I think it was Zeus and Simple keeping an eye on the wrap, so Na'Vi their head on a swivel, able to pick up that 10th round. They reach double digits, and they're looking good to 11-4 this first half. Bit of revenge for Inferno.
Yeah, I think we might be going to nuke, which I think is going to be a very interesting affair. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because if ViCi get this, or if they're able to convert pistol round in the second half, this one's on like Donkey Kong. Oh, bit of a misnade there by Edward. It's not going to matter too much because no one's over towards that part of the map, but he will actually tickle himself down to 76 points of health with his own Molotov. Doesn't really matter, the AK-47s and headshot range regardless. Finally an opening. Okay, so car's down to Simple. The AWP duel has gone in the favor of the Malaysian sensation. And this is a very rare opportunity for ViCi. They're going to get the nades down into Pop Dog. Oh, 33 points of health now for Edward, so not looking great for him as he has to scuttle on out. Electronic will change positions with him. Oh, you don't like that spot? I'll take it.
And the issue is it looks like it's going to be Edward who sees the first bit of action. That smoke missed. And if anything, that's actually a pretty nice smoke for ViCi to try and work with, as now they could just challenge down Olaf, try and pluck Edward from the ranks. And it also means that Electronic, he's going to struggle to help Edward out.
Look at this play from Zeus, though.
Zeus. Big brain and even bigger balls as he's on this wrap round. Electronic going to find one up close. He's looking to try and get more done, at least just buy time for Zeus to work his magic on this wrap. Electronic might kill everyone before Zeus's flank even comes into fruition. He gets one. And now Orman, 1v3. He's always left in these 1vx scenarios, and he's not able to get anything done. So Na'Vi 11-4 half. Very, very different performance to when they got 12-3'd back on Inferno.
It's good that Zeus is actually able to get some kills on the board there. You make that really big flank. You give all the information to your team. You allow them to be completely and utterly prepared for the impending outside execute. And then you almost don't get any kills. You got to be a little bit frustrated with that one, but all good in the end there. As we're going to move forward now with ViCi switching on over. I think their biggest problem was being unable to isolate opening duels and opening kills. It was one-way street as far as I was concerned in terms of Na'Vi dictating the pace, or at least dictating the opening exchanges. We did see the outside smokes are highlighted time and time again for the 5-lane and the E-box, and Na'Vi dealt with that with ease. There was only one round, I believe, where they were really caught off by anything.
I mean, yeah, you could tell that they felt very, very comfortable right in that A side default, just by the fact that they were so willing to continue with that aggression towards Maid and Pop Dog. I can't think of a round when we didn't see a play, you know, over by the Blue Train or in the Cubby, in the Sandwich, you know, over up in Olaf. And, you know, quite often the reason why those outside smokes work in the first place is that you're able to negate the players that are back in the other side of the bomb site, right? But we never really saw that for Na'Vi. Simple was playing down in Ivy. The other two were just challenging up in your face at main. So any smokes that you threw didn't actually really block off the real threat, which was, you know, usually in the form of Edward and Electronic towards main.
You can see here Edward has 12 kills to his name, and Electronic has done much better this time around than on the previous map. So it's quite the contrast here. Obviously both teams just more at home on the map picks. Freeman's going to get a spot there. The smoke's going to come out from a teammate. So interesting way to do it. Normally you see the jiggle peek and then using your own utility, but on Pistol Round they actually have opted to have multiple bogeys there. Utility going to be thrown towards the inner bomb site. Has to be the hit here.
I'm going to go push again at these Glocks. He gushed down Kaze, now Freeman. Only good for one before Flamey trades it out. Bomb plant can look to come through here for Na'Vi, and actually they're going to try and plant open. They wanted to try and go aggressive there and watch it from over towards Connector, but that's not the case. Zoking's dropped the bomb, Simple's retrieved it, and he's going to have to go for a safe plant.
No.
That might not even come through as players aggressing ViCi. Already here in their stride. Molotov reigns in, but Simple's been found, and it's Electronic. A 1v3 required. You're asking so much of him. He's found the first and the second. Trying to hop down, but Zoking denies the clutch.
You're going to hope that Zeus's plant choice was part of the strat, right? Here's the plan. We plant here so we can play aggressive in the yard. We can push it up towards Connector and really lock out this rotation. If he's planted there, and they're normally meant to plant default, there's going to be a bit of frustration because that was their linchpin. That was the piece of the puzzle that fell apart. If they got that bomb down, they start the 40-second timer. From there, they don't have to be so advantageous in their duels. That was their round. And unfortunately, without the plant, it's left Na'Vi in a position where they've gone for a couple of pistol upgrades. They haven't gone for the force buy. We saw a lot more force buy, and that's for sure in that first map. And ViCi with only one rifle here. So Zoking will have the M4A4. Freeman has MP9, 2 UMPs on the board, and a scout for Kaza. It's going to be coming out T-main.
Oh, they have dealt with the danger man. Kaze still just tagging up these players as they try to exit and get into this bomb site, but it's just not happening. Simple, the last man left standing, and a 1v4 required. Nice shot onto Advent, but that's it for him. ViCi 6-11. And this is another map actually from the top of my head. I think I saw them play this. I want to say versus Team. Oh no, actually, no, never mind. Don't worry. I can't remember, Chad, and I'm not going to try and just hamstring some story. But what I was going to say is, I think this is another map where their T sides were notably weaker than their CT sides. Yeah, I think this was a reoccurring problem as well for ViCi throughout most of the minor. So. Let's wait and see if they can build back into this game, because that's something that we didn't really have to see. Obviously, Inferno, they got off to such a great start on the CT side. You never had to see that resilience, their ability to build back into a game. We're going to get to see if that's something they can do now. AKs across the board at Fort Na'Vi. A little bit limited in terms of what utility they can bring to the board.
They're just doing the classic, right? This is what you normally see out of the CT sides. One player towards the inner bomb site, 4 guys on their outside lean, and then you have your rotator. But the rotator only just now is getting back in a position where he can be there swiftly. Simple and Electronic. We keep mentioning those two names together quite a lot this evening, either left in 2-on-5 situations or aggressing on a part of the map. And here they'll go on in. Ooh, the timing of that smoke fade and the flash was almost perfect. Advent with the MP9 could have had 2 juicy kills, but the spam kept him at bay, and now more nades are going to be used. That smoke is actually blocking them off. So they wanted to go dark side, but the CT is using their own utility to force them to fight Sunny. Not the player. Where the light shines. Oh. Okay, Simple.
They must know that there's a player here, there's a presence over towards CT. They've been able to find Advent, so now sitting 5v3. Pretty comfortable with this foothold over in Ivy. From here, they could look to wrap towards B. They can hit the A bomb site. And as Electronics clearing it out, they will just decide to head towards A. They're not going to outbrain themselves and try to go for any grand rotates or anything here. Sitting healthily with the man advantage, they know they can do this, but the bomb's been dropped and there's only 7 seconds left. Surely not. Kaze, he's just trying to run away. He's just looking to try and survive, but they get it down in the nick of time. 1 second to spare as Electronic plugs in the numbers. And Kaze now in a 1-on-3. He can hear Simple hounding him down. Simple. It's blood in the water, and he's come knocking. Kaze falls. Na'Vi up 12-6. And 4 kills from Simple in that round. You know, we haven't really had to... it hasn't been any, like, huge moments where he's been on, like, a, you know, like a massive multi-kill or something like that, like a big spray down like we're so used to. But he's still been putting up consistent numbers. Doing his job, right? And that round there, you know, 4 kills for him, very much the deciding factor in there. And he found the opener. He was the man to get that play started. Now for ViCi, they've gone for this force buy, and it's a pretty dire one. You know, certainly not what you'd want into round 19 when you're staring at the barrel of a 6-12 scoreline. 1 M4 on Freeman. Sorry, 2 M4s between Freeman and Zoking, but other than that, just a few pistols and the scout on Kaze. Electronic's already close. He's already out through main, and he does have support from Flamey over in Olaf. Electronic might not even need support, though. He shut down both the rifles. Those were the 2 bought players for ViCi. They've been toppled as though they had nothing. And it's Kaze to grace the scoreboard first for this CT side. But look at this. Yeah, Simple's already cleared. It's a hard round to lose, and this is a hard one to lose, I think, if you're the side of Na'Vi in this situation. ViCi, I feel this was their last-ditch attempt in this map to at least stay within striking distance of keeping it close or mounting a comeback. There he is, Simple the man on the very, very sneaky beaky flank. And now it's just Orman, who should be taken out any moment now as he walks to the crosshair of Edward. And it's 13-6 right now, so I feel we prophesized towards the end of that first half of us moving forward to nuke is going to come true. Just how quickly we get there is the real question. ViCi should probably take an eco right now, which is going to give 14 rounds up to Na'Vi. They're going to find themselves with enough money in the following round to be able to buy, but it's quite a gargantuan task to mount that CT wall. You can see how much easier it is for Na'Vi to take map territory when they don't have to fight all the utility like what ViCi had to do in their first half. The nades, the flashes, the molotovs, all absconding them from taking certain areas of the map, and then even when you think you're safe behind a smoke, Na'Vi had some fantastic tactical grenades landing on their head. While we have this eco playing on out, we'll give you an A-stream update. It's being cast right now by James and Dan. They're on to map number 3, being Mirage. Fnatic were able to steal away Cage, which was their map choice 19-16. It wasn't the first overtime affair, I think, of the tournament. I've only watched 2 maps, and that's the ones I've seen right now, so I'm taking a stab in the dark. No, I think the Renegades Tyloo game went overtime. Yeah. I'm going to check you right now, Harry, because I'm pretty sure that I checked that result when I got off the plane. 16-13, 16-13. I swear there was another OT today, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe North NRG. Maybe it was North NRG, yeah, that sounds about right. No, those are all... 16-0. Bloody Nora, I missed that one. Probably a good thing I did. All right, once again, that utility to lock Na'Vi out of the choke points just isn't there for ViCi. They really have to rely on their individualism and their aim here to just stand tall in these positions and hit the shots. Whereas Na'Vi get a good opportunity to dictate the pace,
Yes, Harry?
Pardon?
I thought you had something you wanted to say.
Oh, no. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I thought you had a point you were making. It's
No,
going to be an inside
I don't have
hit.
many of them.
No, it's going to be an inside hit. That's all you need to know. And ViCi don't have a lot of utility to stop this.
Yeah, they really don't. They're just going to have to try and get it. I was going to try and get it done with the rifles. Freeman might have had the answer, but not quite able to hit the head of Electronic. Does bring him down to 3 HP in the process. Flamey holding close to connect it. Simple. So fast on that trade. Oh, Orman. How's he even managed to get here? I honestly don't know. There's so many players inside of the bomb site still, or at least there were. He was all the way down past Oil. The only issue is with Simple and Zeus holding at ramp. He's going to struggle. Oh. It's Simple. 1 HP, no scope. 3 kills for him in that round. 15-6 map point for Na'Vi. They're looking to try and take us to nuke. And I'm imagining we're getting there at this point.
How many games played on Nuke do ViCi even have? We had those stats come up on the screen when we kicked off the match. It wasn't a map that I even really took note of until we saw that Vito fly on out. I'm going to do a little bit of reconnaissance here.
I know
Harry.
they played Vitality, I want to say, in that, like, at some point in the minor. I think on the, it would have been in the 3rd place.
Yeah, it was a 16-12 loss to Vitality. And their most recent game was on the 22nd of March against 5 Power in the IM Sydney 2019 qualifier, where they won 16-5. So they don't have a lot of history played, especially within the last 3 months. But within the last 6 months, there's a couple of extra games on in there where they've had mixed bag of results. Whereas Na'Vi have been a team who, they've been happy to play it against certain opponents. It's never been towards the top of their wheelhouse, maybe something they've been working on. Maybe something they had in store for Astralis at the Major.